Welcome back to Sip, Smoke, and Share, uh, Create and Critique with RGT. So we're coming live from the medical center. So I just wanted to sit here and talk for a minute about this Deion Sanders thing because everybody's talking about Deon right now. He's the hottest thing in the news. And it's very upsetting to me when I look at this situation that I see everybody's mad at Deon for leaving Jackson State. But Deon did everything that he said he was going to do. He said that he did everything that he said he was going to do. And then nobody wants to look at Jackson State and their role in this. They don't want to look at Jackson State and the part that they played in him leaving the school, because there was a lot of things that were done behind the scenes with Jackson State, or that Jackson State did to Deon, that Deon addressed in some of the news conferences that nobody wants to talk about. So, he got them a new field, he got them uniforms, he got them some good food. That way they can compete like the other guys across town. He got them facilities. He did these things. He paid coaches out of his money. He gave half his money back, his $300,000 salary. He coached kids. He brought D1 kids, or kids that were committed to D1 schools. He brought them to Jackson State. He got top commits to come and play. He changed the program. He started winning. But like Deon said, when I started dominating, go watch his last press conference. When he started dominating, he started getting hate from the people in his conference. So how you gonna hate? But that's typical black, or should I say, ninja shit, or ninja stuff. That's just like these little babies. They do things and then they want to blame the man. But then, little baby, you chose him. So we can't be mad at Deon for wanting to leave, especially when you are giving me my props of telling me, that I'm doing a good job. It's like a man in a marriage. There's plenty of women out here that'll tell a man, you look good if you work with this man. Sometimes y'all call him your workplace husband. But they'll say, hey, you look good, you smell good. Oh, I like your suit. But then the person that you're staying with hadn't noticed it. Then it's reversed, same thing on the man's side. Woman can go get her hair and her nails done. She can wait on you hand and foot and look like, a maid. And she go get her nails done and her hair, take some time and take some self-care. And then the Negro she's sleeping with, or she go to bed with every night, ain't noticed her, haven't recognized her, haven't even complimented her. So it works both ways. So in the Deon situation, one of the things that he had in his contract, like he said, was I'm going to bring people to the games. Deon started selling out the stadium. So one of the things is that they had less than 10,000 people at the homecoming. When Deon had this stadium filled up. And when he went to go report and look at the tickets, they only sold 28,000. We could see from social media that the stage was full, the crowds were full, But then they taking his money and stealing on the back end. One of the things he said in the interview is that, hey, when I got my leg, he had the blood clots. He had two. He had his big toe and his toe cut off. And he said nobody from the administration, from the school, the top people from the school, he said nobody came and asked him, oh, how's your leg? So, we can say that we care. We can care about kids. I know, and I truly believe that Deon was about kids. Because that educators and people that care about kids care about kids. You can't fake that. That's something that you can't fake. So my ex-wife was in education. She's been in education for over 20 years. And she loved those kids. She know every one of their kids' name. Being the principal of the school. She know every one of those kids. So Deon knew those kids. He cared about those kids. He loved on those kids. He gave those kids, and most of the time that's all they want is to know that somebody cares. And the administration, and it's not just, and the sad part about it, we mad at Deon for the state of HBCUs, but it's not just Jackson State. I'm a graduate of Texas Southern University. I went to PV for 2 years. And the same stuff or the same BS goes on at all of these schools. So the people at the top, I don't think they may care to a degree, but they're not willing to put their money where their mouth is. Instead of them seizing the opportunity while Deon was there to increase revenue, to increase social media, to increase enrollment, they did none of that. They fought this man. Like you said, and he said it in his last interview. I'm the football coach. I can't enact change. I can change the football program, but the facilities and all these other things, it's not just about football. And black people get so caught up into somebody else's BS. Hold the people that are accountable. Talk to the president. Talk to the administration's people. Talk to the deans of these schools and find out, what did you do when Deon was here? Like you said, I need the cheerleaders to be on point. I need not only my program, I need the basketball, tennis courts, the basketball team, the baseball team. We all need to represent. But most of the time, like it is, we want to blame somebody else for our lack of input. Just like we don't vote, but then we got problems when Pookie and Ray Ray down in front of the judge, and they say, "Man, they ain't had no black folks." That's because you didn't get out and vote. You don't vote in the presidential election. You don't vote in the midterm elections. You don't vote in any of that stuff. When you vote in local judges and county commissioners and all these folks, when you don't vote, you don't have a right to complain. And these are the thoughts of RGT only. Nobody else told me how to think. I think for myself. I've seen a lot, and I have a personal experience with HBCUs and how they do things. They take money and put it in general funds, and then they go and use your shit or your money, and then just like, oh. So I have firsthand knowledge of that. And that's the things that we do to one another. But that's just something that people are talking about. And before that, what was it? The Takeoff situation. They talking about Takeoff and all of these rappers that are getting killed. My thing is, hey, oh well, when you want to be in that lifestyle, that's some of the shit that come with it. You want to be in that lifestyle, that's the shit that come with it. When you want to play around, you want to have all this jewelry on your neck, you want to hang out with these people that don't have nothing, ain't going nowhere, and they looking at you like they looking up to you, yes, because you got the bling on, you got to represent your money on your neck. They want to walk around with the money and talk to the money. It's crazy shit. And then you go around a nigga that don't have nothing. What do you expect a rat to do except eat the cheese? What do you expect a snake to do except bite you? What do you expect a dog to do? Dogs don't meow, they bark. Cats meow. So when you expect something to do something that they don't, then you're the fool. So when you have millions of dollars like that, you need to start moving different. You understand? So it's one of those things to where it's unfortunate, but we got young men that's out here getting killed all the time. And most of the time, and I told my ex-wife this, is that you can't parent from downstairs. You cannot parent again. Let me say that again, like Umar. You can't parent from downstairs. So that says that if you have a 2-story house and your kid's bedroom is upstairs, the master's down, you have to go and get involved. You got to go up there and see what the hell these kids are doing. You got to go get involved. So a lot of these mamas, we need to stop the killing. Your son is out here killing. Your son is out here failing. But you downstairs, you being fly. You got on your swingers and your bangers, and you got your BBL and your body all tight. That's your fault. That's the mother's fault. Of course, that's the dad's fault because, we leave, or not we, because I didn't leave, but the men leave. But then that goes back to one of my favorite things. They out here making bad decisions. So when a woman makes a bad decision, that's the man you chose. You knew he wasn't shit when you got with him. But he ain't raising his kid. He ain't want them little ugly ass kids. You knew he wasn't gonna be a daddy. He ain't a daddy to his other kids. So why did you think that you was gonna get with you and now start taking care? He gonna become a great father. Delusional. But enough of that. I'll check y'all later. I'm out of here.